She said it to David Letterman about Escamole, about how delicious it is, and he kind of raised his eyebrow. And you know what he said when he was done with the interview? He says, but this thing about insects as food is very important for our civilization. It's a really important topic. Salma Hayek, David Letterman, Daniela Martin, they're all part of the insexual revolution.
So Emmett earlier was talking about the decline of fish populations in our oceans. What's the other problem with eating fish? Can anyone tell me? Thank you, whoever said mercury, that's correct. Now, caterpillars, waxworms in particular, are an excellent source of omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids.
Brain food.
Brain food, and you're not having, exactly, you're not getting the mercury that comes with it.
Yeah.
You're not having to worry about them injecting extra dye into your farmed fish. It's just pure and clean, and it's coming from bran and honey, and you can grow it in a shoebox. Amazing! Let's talk about crickets, which is my other, favorite bug to eat, because they're so easy to get, and they're really easy to grow as well. Crickets have about half the protein of beef, all right, pound for pound, about half the protein. They also have half the fat. They also have 3 times the calcium. They also have 3 times the iron.
Can you see this revolution happening right here tonight, my friends? Yes. I mean, there's a lot of niacin, a lot of iron, a lot of the minerals, vitamins, Now think about it.
Exactly.
It might not be us in this room, but how many people in the world, how many people in our culture are overfed and undernourished? And here we have a rather future-forward-thinking opportunity to add something to our diet in a very economical fashion, and with someone like Daniela leading the way. I mean, this is lovely cuisine.
Another thing to think about is cleanliness. Now, a lot of the beef and a lot of the chicken that we eat, it's not been eating such a great diet itself.
It's not safe sex.
It's not safe sex.
This is safe sex right here.
Exactly.
Yes, growing them is safe.
Yes. Oh,
you can raise it yourself, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you can raise your own cow? Come on!
Not many of us can do that. But yeah, a lot of the crickets, you can feed them on things you would normally just toss into your compost. Not only are these good for the environment, not only are these good for me in terms of nutrition, but these are good food. They're just good, period. And the only reason that we're not eating insects is because we're not eating them. It's just because of our cultural matrix in our brain that tells us that these are not food, when in fact, they're all around us.
Yeah, I research and lecture on a emerging field of science called cultural entomology. It's all about exploring the parallels and connections between humans and insects. And the reality is, if you think about it, and for those of you who are sort of, anthropologically minded, we were probably eating insects as a species before we were eating anything else. In a lot of places around the world, especially drought places, places where there's a low water supply, the grubs and beetles like these on the screen are a huge important part of nutrition. Everybody knows that chocolate's a good aphrodisiac. There's a lot of insects out there that are good for chocolate. Daniela, what are some of the best ones to dip in, like a flambe of nice chocolate?
Well, we're talking about aphrodisiacs. A name that Emma and I came up with before the show was arthrodisiacs. Arthrodisiacs. Arthropods are things like a scorpion. This is an arthropod. And in some cultures, scorpions and tarantulas, for instance, are considered to be aphrodisiacs, or arthrodisiacs, if you will.
This man just tried some insects for the first time, right? It tasted great.
All right, brother.
Best chips I've ever had.
Yeah.